Hello, this video is a demonstration of the BlueQuill Past plugin. Here I will show you how teachers will use the P3 forms for delivery in the classroom. As you build your backmaps and projects, BlueQuill maps the content of your learning objects and containers to the P3 forms you will use for delivery in the classroom. To create the project level forms, at any time either during development or for final delivery, you will click on the Download PDFs drop-down menu. Here you will see the available forms. You can click on each one and the form will download. Click on the file to open the form. Let's look at each form. Design process. This form lists the title of your problem and project. The 6 boxes below are populated with the display names of the learning objects that come from day containers with matching colors of the design cycle. For example, day 1 is green, so the display names of objects in day 1 will populate in the green brainstorm box. The next form is the fidelity checklist. This form will list the name of the project. The next form is the Lewis rubric. The structure of this form is similar to the design process form in that the content for each section will populate on the form based on the display names of the corresponding color of the day container. If we want to add points and have them render on the Lewis rubric, we need to add the points in the learning object using the score tool. To do this, open the activity object for which you want to add points. Turn on the score tool and enter the points for that activity and click Save. Now, when we download the Lewis rubric, we will see the points in the column on the right. This form will also automatically total the points at the bottom. The next form is the product criteria. This form will list the information from learning object display names, teacher content, and icon types to show the various criteria required on this form. Product at the top is the display name of the Day 10 final product learning object. Items in the length size rows are from the teacher content of learning objects that have the words length or size in the display name. Items in the organization and layout rows are from the teacher content of the learning objects that have the words organization or layout in the display name. Items in the materials resources rows are from the teacher content of the learning objects that have the materials icon. Items in the engagement rows are from the teacher content of the learning objects that have one of the assessment icons. Items in the rows labeled Other are from the teacher content of the learning objects that have the word Other in the display name. The next form is the product snapshot. This form also lists information from learning object display names, teacher content, and icon types to show the various criteria required on this form. Grade level and subject at the top are generated by the descriptions added to the project. Overarching question is the project name, and the problem issue is the title of the problem. Project activities in blue are generated by the display names of the objects that have the activity or brainstorm activity icons. The products in purple are generated by the display names of the objects that have the milestone product or final product icons. The aligned standards column content is generated by the standards selected in the project descriptions. You can also add a custom teacher-generated standard to this column. To do this, you add a learning object to one of the day containers and select the standard icon. The teacher content text in this learning object will populate beneath the standards on the snapshot. On page 2 of the snapshot, the learning objects with a specific formative assessment icon will populate a check mark in the box of the matching formative assessment type. In the short cycle assessment column, this content is populated from the teacher content of learning objects with assessment icons. The next form is the 2-week planner. Much like the Snapshot, the 2-week planner is populated with content from multiple sources. At the top of step 1, the subject will populate with the subjects selected in the project descriptions. The problem or issue students will examine row will populate with the title of the problem. The student activities row will populate with the display names of all activity and milestone product learning objects. The expected timeline row shows the total times of the learning objects for each day in a project. It also shows the total time for the entire project. The materials needed row will populate with the teacher content from all the learning objects with the materials icon. The formative assessment ideas row will populate with all the display names of all learning objects with an assessment icon. The product ideas row will populate with the display names of all learning objects with the milestone product and final product icons. On step 2 of the 2-week planner, the subject will once again populate with the subjects selected in the project descriptions. The content for each day row will populate with the teacher content from each learning object with an activity or brainstorm activity icon in the respective day container. There are also forms that are on the problem or back map level, as well as an easy way to download all forms at once. If you click the download button at the top, you will see a number of options. You can click a back map, which shows the problem, subjects, project names, and the activities divided into weeks. You can download a content breakout organizer, which shows the project names and related products in a problem divided by subject area. You can download a graphic organizer, which shows the problem title, project names, subject roles or activities, and the final product for the projects in a back map. You can also download all the forms at once in a zip file. Thanks for watching this video demonstration of the delivery forms.